Alrighty, you know what time it is. Fnaf on the Wii U time. Everyone wants to play Fnaf on the Wii U. Now you can play Fnaf twice. 2 Freddy's. What? Last episode, I looked at Fnaf 2 on the 3DS, and wouldn't you know it, a Wii U port was also available for me to look at. This port was made by Source Macchiato. They were also the developers of the first Wii U port I looked at in my last Fnaf Wii U video. But there's an extra player here this time, Demolade. Yeah, apparently he had a part in getting this version of the game up and running since his code was used as the base of this port. A lot of familiar characters in the ring again, but what does that mean for this game? Well, surprisingly, a lot. In my last video, I mentioned how the Fnaf 1 Wii U port from this developer was kinda lackluster. Not bad, but especially with the unique gimmick of the Wii U Gamepad, I was expecting there to be a lot more interesting use cases for the hardware. Now, I might have been a bit harsh, but it seems like my comments didn't fall on deaf ears. Can't be too sure after a decade of jump scares. They eventually did address a lot of the issues I had with the port, like moving the camera to the bottom screen, but they also added a lot of extra stuff too. Most of these improvements make their way over to this version as well. So in this port of the game, there are 4 different ways that you can actually play and control the game. The first way is to only play on the TV. Now, that sounds like that defeats the whole purpose of the gamepad, which it does, but there is a reason why we have this. Then there is the Gamepad Classic mode, basically what they did last time as the only option that you could do for the cams. Nice to have, but personally I think it's kinda lame. But then we have Gamepad Alternate mode. This is where the good stuff is. This is why I downloaded the app. I already own the game, don't worry. This puts the entire camera on the bottom screen. And then finally there is the Gamepad Only mode, which puts the whole game on your gamepad. I think it's pretty obvious that for me, and probably a lot of you guys, the alternate gamepad mode is the one that we're most interested in. Like in my previous Fnaf Wii U video, having the cam systems be a physical thing outside of the game is so cool and something I've wanted for so long. You get the added touch controls that all of the other console versions don't have, while also having the convenience of still being able to use a controller and playing on the big screen. The game plays pretty similarly to any other game port in the single screen mode. It's really the gamepad modes where this version of the game shines. It's so much cooler to use the gamepad as the cameras. Even if you just use them as the camera controls, they are way more convenient. Plus, that's not the only thing that they added in this game. They also added Wii Remote functionality. What does that mean? Well, we can have the gamepad just be the cams while the Wii Remote does the office controls, which is wild. It's like we now have a camera device and a flashlight, which makes interacting with the game super intuitive. Now, it's not the easiest way to play, but it really feels like I'm controlling the game in a more involved way. Plus, this Wiimote option isn't exclusive. It can be applied on top of any of the other screen modes. You can use it with the default cam mode, it just doesn't do anything when you have the cams up. And playing Fnaf 2 with just a Wiimote is entirely doable here. Other than that, yeah, it's just Fnaf 2. It plays great, but there are a few hiccups. For starters, if there are any weird issues with the 3DS game, they also appear here as well. How do I know this? Well, in my last video, I mentioned this oversight with the music box, where if you wind up the music box using the touchscreen and then close the cameras, every time you open it again, the music box would wind up automatically when you switch to the prize corner. That same glitch is here too. So basically that means that most, if not all, strange oddities in the 3DS game should be here as well. But there are some other weird things I noticed too. Firstly, some audio cues seem to be a bit messed up. Like, I'm pretty sure I've heard Mangle accidentally use the Balloon Boy vent cue once instead of theirs. And you know that sound effect when an animatronic enters the room and the lights flicker? Yeah, that just happens sometimes. No reason whatsoever, it just will. Now that we have the option to have the cameras be exclusively on the bottom screen, there are times where characters will just show up and then they'll try and attack you. That's fine. I understand why they do that that because the camera is no longer covering the office, but at the same time, we already have this light flickering mechanic in there, and I just wonder why they couldn't have flickered the lights before they come in. The game still plays fine, it's just one of those visual things that could have been easily solved. This game kind of chugs, which is really weird because it's in stark contrast to the 3DS version. Yeah, the 3DS version looked awful, but it ran insanely fast on the 3DS. This version runs fine. It's not enough to mess up gameplay, but it's so weird that it even struggles at all. I think they knew it struggled because they show loading bars in order to tell you how long the game has to take to load. So they must have known that they needed a status indicator to remind you that, hey, the game didn't actually crash. The game crashed sometimes. Using the Wiimote is also a bit weird. As a flashlight, sure, it's fine, but you can play the whole game with a Wiimote. That's really cool, but it also ended up being a little awkward. Every button is mapped, which sounds like a good thing, but they're mapped to be a replacement to the controls of Fnaf 2 on the Wii U, which is very different than being mapped to the controls of Fnaf 2, period. I thought it was going to be a thing like that one time I played Fnaf with a Wiimote on my computer, where basically the two screen tabs would show up, but they don't. They technically don't even exist in this version of the game. The mask and cams are bound to 1 and 2. When I was trying this mode, I needed to readjust my hands like this so I could access all of the controls quickly. I'm not really going to complain about this in particular like it's some sort of deal breaker. It really isn't, and this isn't Fnaf 2 on the Wii, it's Fnaf 2 on the Wii U. The gamepad functionality is where it really matters, and it delivers on that. It is something I thought I would bring up though. Fnaf 2 on the Wii U is available now. You can try it for yourself if you have the original game. This might be the last time I get to review a Fnaf port on the Wii U, at least from this developer. The team has transitioned into an official porting studio and original game developer at the turn of the new year. It's great to see that their talents will go towards future official projects and start to develop for modern platforms like the Switch and PlayStation. It is unfortunate because, I really like their Wii U work. They have ported a bunch of other things to the Wii U, but this is a natural evolution for them, and I really hope they do really well with their new direction that they're going. They clearly have the talent to back it up. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video where I play Fnaf on the Wii U 2.